Great to have you with us tonight here on Arc Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schnee. Thursday evening, July 17th. 24 hours after the vote, the Utah County Commission doubling down on its decision to unanimously approve an agreement between the Utah County Sheriff's Office and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Tonight we'll take an in-depth look at the deal, allowing deputies to collaborate more closely under ICE programming, as it is worded. Before we do that, though, meteorologist Sean Kelly here stepping in to talk about the concerns in the southern part of the state right now with rain falling at higher elevations. And what happens then, Sean?
We've got flash flooding, mudslides, the potential for debris flows. And we've already seen some videos of that. We're watching the Pine Valley area closely. Luckily, the rain in many spots starting to wind down already, which is great news. But again, that flash flooding threat is still imminent, and we need to be weather aware here through the next few hours. Those flood watches continue through midnight tonight, and the warnings right now ongoing for the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. You can see down towards the south central part of the state where we still have the warnings in place here for portions of Kane County, still dealing with some lingering rain. The problem with these bands of rain is they're not moving all that much, so you're getting hit by the same rain band for hours on end, and it's already producing that flash flooding, and areas have already picked up a half an inch to an inch of rain in a short amount of time. Starting to see some slight movement here with this area just north and west of Cedar City. I think it'll likely at least reach your area within the next hour or so, but it is already weakening quite a bit into the Enterprise area, which has already picked up over an inch and a half of rain. Unfortunately, we're dry down in St. George. Zion still dealing with some rain and the potential for some flash flooding. And then further up towards the north, we're kind of missing out here, mainly across the higher terrain. Up towards the north and west, seeing an isolated shower, an isolated storm there as well. Some breaks of sun, though, here in Salt Lake City, currently at 94 degrees. Light winds at the south, 14 miles per hour, a little bit of a hazy sky, some slight smoke out there. And you'll notice those temperatures kind of fluctuating here, but generally cooling things down into the 70s as we head into the overnight. The updated drought monitor here, we really need the rain, especially further up towards the north and west, back down towards the south and west. We do have some additional opportunities for some rain. We'll talk about that, Brian, coming up in the next few minutes.
My friend and classmate Ashley was taken by ICE. One day she was here, laughing with us, learning with us. The next day she was just gone. No goodbye, no explanation.
The Utah County Commission unanimously approved an agreement with ICE as part of the Trump administration's mass deportation efforts. It allows ICE to train Utah County Sheriff's deputies and give them more enforcement power over immigration law. Now, public comment on the issue lasted more than 4 hours last night. The decision comes after more than 100 people spoke against this new partnership, including a young girl.
The dehumanization and othering we have seen by the current administration and ICE agents of human beings should horrify all of us. What kind of neighbors are we being to those in our community who need our help?
In the future, history will look unkindly upon you three in particular if you vote yes on the cooperation with ICE.
But how can we feel safe when someone can just be taken from their families just like that? That's not the kind of city I want to grow up in.
This meeting was filled with Utah County residents from all walks of life, social workers, immigration lawyers, university professors, as you just heard there, even children. They all have one thing in common. Not one public commenter that spoke last night was actually in favor of the agreement. And after the public comments and questions, Utah County Sheriff Mike Smith took the same podium in response.
So we're not hiring more people. We're not moving anybody from any assignment to be an ICE agent. This would be just a few of our deputies who are assigned to higher level crimes that would have a collateral responsibility as they're investigating state and local crimes to identify if the person they're dealing with is in this country legally or not.
Sheriff Smith says the training Utah County officers will receive is a 40-hour online training on how to use the immigration database, and this agreement will lead to more transparency, they believe, from ICE. Smith says this will take up to a year to be fully implemented. ICE already has agreements with 5 counties in Utah: Beaver, Tooele, St. Pete, Washington, and Weber. The agreements allow sheriff's deputies to partially or fully assist ICE with enforcement, removal, detention, and immigration authority. A Utah immigration attorney we spoke to says right now immigration courts are struggling.
they need support, but it seems that this administration is not looking to support them. They're looking to find ways around them. It seems like there's something new every day, and so it's exhausting to be an immigration attorney at this time because the changes are happening so fast and they're so drastic, where we are struggling to have time to even comprehend the changes that are being announced or proposed. And so we can't hardly prepare for what's to come, or what the effect is on our clients on a daily basis. And I think that is part of their strategy.
Dan Black says many judges, clerks, and courtroom staff have quit or been fired in the last 6 months, including one who quit today. The loss of staff is creating a backlog of cases that could take several years to get through. This means there are now just 3 immigration judges at the court. The Salt Lake Immigration Court is located in West Valley near Decker Lake. Despite around 100 people voicing opposition to the proposal, County Commissioner Skylar Beltran told our Natalie Wattis today that they didn't sway his vote, and he feels this agreement will help the county.
We don't ever like to disappoint, a lot of people that spend a lot of time, sharing their thoughts, but we can't legislate based on, how many people show up to the meeting.
Wednesday, dozens of people spoke out against the Utah County Sheriff's Office's agreement to collaborate with ICE under their 287G programs. This includes allowing the department to train and get certified with ICE to enforce immigration authority in some police duties and participate in ICE-led task forces. It would also allow them to access ICE data on people's criminal history and immigration status who are in the county jail and notify ICE about people in their custody. Beltran says this agreement does not mean they're rounding people up and says they're not spending any money on this.
If anything, we're holding ICE to a higher standard than we did yesterday. There is no drastic change. There is no drastic difference that anybody will notice that will affect any of our communities, illegal or not.
If it doesn't change anything substantially, why do it at all?
Yeah, I think several reasons. First, to have those guardrails of interpreters, civil rights protections, notification, data sharing. That's plenty of reasons alone.
Beltran says there are contracts as part of this agreement outlining those guardrails. I've asked for copies of them and I'm waiting to read them. Do you think that the Sheriff's Office should be collaborating more closely with ICE?
No, I don't. I don't think they should at all. I think they should be protecting the people that ICE is going after.
Beltran says ICE already operates in Utah County without this agreement.
And this just allows us to say, hey, this is the way we expect you to operate in our county, and it just helps everybody.
I reached out to the Sheriff's Office today to see if the sheriff would like to speak on this as well, but I was told he was not available. In Utah County, Natalie Wattis, KUTV 2 News.
Well, but before we move forward, I did speak with Sheriff Smith on this issue before these conversations were being had. We went in depth on that on this very show about 5 months ago. Very easy to find that conversation. It is on our YouTube channel. You can just type in the keyword searches Utah County and ICE, and it should pop up for you. While some local law enforcement agencies take on a larger role in immigration enforcement, some are raising concerns about what they could mean for community trust. Former Salt Lake County Sheriff Jim Winder says expanding local law enforcement's role in immigration issues can bring benefits and risks.
There are 3 elements to what Utah County did yesterday. One of them is an action that predominantly impacts how they will function within their jail. That is, it allows them to interact with ICE when an individual is booked, generally for a more serious crime, and how they ensure that they identify that person's status. Another option is for them to participate in task forces. This is where they literally go out with potentially ICE agents and they engage in what I think many of in the community might be the most concerned about, which is, on the ground ICE raids. So there are a number of ways that this could impact a community, but people should know that this is a very common situation that right now, I think in the state of Utah, at least 6 different jurisdictions have entered into these similar agreements. So Utah County is by no ways alone in what they've just done.
Well, to piggyback off that conversation, part of the conversation I had with Sheriff Smith 5 months ago was the jail conversation and was about ICE agents in the task forces. Sheriff Smith telling me many months ago that once upon a time, ICE agents used to be involved in those task forces, and that had changed over time. So some of these things are not actually new. They had maybe just gone away and are going to come back in that form of collaboration. Kind of interesting if you go back and listen to that conversation. Now, former Sheriff Winders says the programs can be misused, leading to fear and legal battles. Still, he says if done right, these partnerships can help remove serious criminals from the streets. The success of the partnership comes down to transparency and oversight. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, his home looks like grandma's living room. How one Utah man is using crochet to bring healing and hope together.
The following segment is sponsored by Mountain America Credit Union.
From prison to purpose, a Utah man is using crochet to bring healing and hope together. Throughout this story, there will be a QR code on your screen to nominate someone for a future Pay It Forward segment. But for now, Kristen Kenny shares his mission in this week's Pay It Forward.
I started crocheting in the focus drug program back in 2019 when I was serving a 20-year prison sentence. They had the opportunity to learn how to crochet, and so I started doing it and realized I was good at it and then never stopped.
Tiny stuffed animals, teddy bears, brightly woven baby blankets. They might look like they came straight from Grandma's living room, but they were crocheted by inmates.
It's a whole thing. Like, there's a lot of guys in there. They crochet or they knit.
And what they make goes to children in hospitals and people experiencing homelessness. It's all part of Healing Threads Ministries, teaching men behind bars to crochet with purpose.
For a broken mind like my own, and many broken minds like that in prison, it's therapeutic. It takes you out of your head. It takes you out of a place that may seem like it's confining or it's imprisoning.
Jonathan Gardner, a former inmate, now leads the mission with his wife, Ashley.
Like, I got here and I just started doing the same thing that I was doing there, stealing, robbing, using drugs, all the nonsense. So I'm like, all right, this is the second half of my life. How can I leave my second half better than my first half? It's like, I've got to give something back.
It's turned into a community effort, bringing crochet kits into Utah jails.
What's the number one thing you need?
Yarn. We need yarn.
That's where Mountain America Credit Union and KUTV step in.
I'm here actually with Mountain America Credit Union, and we want to pay it forward and just really commend you on doing such an amazing job in our community and helping so many people.
Do you mind if I look?
No, go right ahead.
Can I? This is going to fill carts of yarn.
I hope so.
I promise you.
That's wonderful. Hey,
that's amazing.
You guys are amazing.
Yep.
Well, I love that. I hope you took the time during that to scan the QR code and nominate someone that is special to you. Let's get to some of our wildfire coverage here. The Monroe Canyon Fire in central Utah has taken several structures. The Sevier County Sheriff told me this morning 3 cabins and an outbuilding have been destroyed. The owners have been notified. Many of the owners, by the way, commenting on the post on my Facebook page saying, hey, that's my cabin. And you can tell there's some emotion behind that. The flames have also scorched 8,600 acres. That was before mapping was not done overnight due to weather. As for the fire, it's still 0% contained, and with some rain, really hoping that maybe some things are looking on the upswing here with some of our wildfires. The cause still under investigation. They're trying to look into that, but the rain really a good and a bad thing here, Sean. We've got obviously the need to extinguish, but in some of these burned areas, like this spot right here, it could be very dangerous. And as we've seen, these landscapes that get burned out takes 5-10 years at times to heal from that scar, and it allows water to really move through quickly.
Yeah, and then that could turn into a mudslide situation, right? With the debris flow. We did see a little bit of rain on that wildfire, but it wasn't much, unfortunately, here. We'll get a few additional opportunities over the next 24 hours. But some good soaking rain in some spots, including the Pine Valley Mountains area, picking up nearly 3/4 of an inch. Canaryville as well, over a 1/2 inch of rain. Beaver seeing about a 1/4 of an inch of rain. So we saw a little bit today. Further up towards the north, it's been lacking only a few hundredths of an inch of rain showers. We've got a nice little storm here getting closer across the Cache Valley area, sliding out towards the north and east, across the northern end of the Wasatch Front, across some of the Ochre Mountains as well, down towards the south, but have been dry for the most part here up and down the Wasatch Front. We've got some thunderstorms still barely moving north and west of Cedar City, remaining stationary. This is when it becomes life-threatening and dangerous, when the same area gets hit over an extended period of time with very heavy rain for several hours, and we've seen that produce about a 1/2 inch to an inch in a short amount of time for our south central communities. Still dealing with some ongoing flash flooding concerns down into portions of Kane County, even across portions of Washington County, though those warnings have been allowed to expire. Zooming in, St. George, unfortunately, other than a few light raindrops, you're missing out on the rain. Enterprise, you're seeing some good rain soaking, as well as further up towards the north and west of Cedar City. We'll see if this can move down towards the south and east. I wouldn't hold your breath on it. It's remaining pretty stationary for the most part. Still seeing some light rain in the Zion area, but that flash flood warning luckily has been able to expire. Just south of Kanab, still dealing with some heavy rain there up through the Escalante area. Through about 8, 9 o'clock, still dealing with some of those soaking rain in that area through the next few hours, really. Then it tapers off after 10 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow morning, maybe waking up to some central Utah showers, mainly across a higher terrain, but a little bit of a better chance for an isolated shower or downpour or thunderstorm thunderstorm here across the Wasatch Front tomorrow afternoon, evening. So watch out for that. We'll get a breakdown across southern Utah, and then late into tomorrow evening, we'll get another chance here as we get into the late evening and overnight. St. George, again, you've got showers all around you, but it's been missing you for the most part, which is unfortunate, of course, with ongoing drought. Further up towards the north, we've had some mix of sun and clouds, cooler temperatures today into the low 80s. We're into the middle 80s, that is, into Provo. Low 90s further up into Salt Lake City, Ogden area. A little bit of that hazy smoke in the air, but look at down towards the south. It's cool out there. Park City at 77, Milford at 72, 67 in Panguitch, 72 in Cedar City, 83 right now in Page, 92 in Moab. So some rain-cooled air making it at least feel a little bit better. We've got lows as we head into the overnight, diving down into the 70s and 60s here. Some slight relief, a little bit cloudier down towards the south. And then those highs tomorrow back up into the 90s. But notice statewide, we're avoiding triple digits. So at least this monsoonal moisture keeping those temperatures not only cooler than normal, but cooler than normal all week long into the weekend and into next week. The normal for St. George 102, and we're below that each and every day, drying things out by the weekend. Then along the Wasatch Front, we'll get 2 more days with a few isolated showers. We're also seeing a few days here below normal as well. And then we start to heat things up by next week and drying things out as well. But we've got no triple-digit temperatures here in that 7-day forecast. We like to see that.
I like St. George below it by 1 degree, but we're still going to count it there.
Oh,
101, still hot.
That's right.
And this is nice here, too. The breeze hopefully will kind of cool things off there on one of our warmer days of the week next week. So right now, again, critical fire weather still not as imminent with the monsoon moisture?
Yeah, not as bad for sure. We don't have any warnings across the state, and the ones that are just the north, they'll expire tonight. Improving conditions in that respect. You know, we'd love to see some soaking rain here across the Wasatch Front. Maybe tomorrow, it's a possibility. But generally, we like to see at least temperatures, you know, below 100 degrees to help those wildfires.
We'll take it. Thank you, Sean. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, the next Winter Olympics. Still 9 years away, but Salt Lake City starting the prep now. We have who is getting improvements and when they will be done. The next time Salt Lake City will host the Winter Olympics, 9 years away, but many of the venues across the valley and parts of northern Utah are still making improvements ahead of time.
We want to be at the very best. When we come here in 2034, we want Team USA athletes to shine. And we know that's important to everybody. We love the journey, we love the competitive spirit, we want a fair competition, but we want Team USA to be successful on that field of play. And there's a lot that it takes to get there.
In 2034, Winter Olympians will compete at 13 venues in Utah. Some of those venues will include Rice-Eccles Stadium, Delta Center, and Park City Mountain.
Yeah, we got a little ways to go. We'll see you again tomorrow night.